Hello, and in this video we will go over using the EasyPlot plot allocator tool. So first off here, you'll see that I have my desired Arc Pro project open, and I have some stands here that I want to allocate plots to. So first off, we need to determine what stands we want plots in. So we can choose the Select tool up here at the top and click on a stand to select it. Or if we hold down the Shift key and click, we can select multiple records at one time. To clear a selection, we can click Clear. And you can also select by attributes or select by location. So for this first example, I am just going to choose one stand that I want to allocate plots to. Then I'm going to head up to the top and I'm going to choose EasyPlot Tools. And I'm going to choose Plot Layout Tool. Here you will see a window popping up. And it has some choices here that we need to make. So let's walk through this window. So first here is the Select Stands polygon layer. Since we only have one polygon layer, that is what is automatically selected. And then here it's asking to select the stand ID field. I'm going to make sure stand ID is selected. Your name may be slightly different, but choose whatever stand ID field is your stand ID field. And then here we can choose the plot spacing. For this first example, we'll stay on chains. And then next, we can see we have a number of options here on how we can allocate plots. I should probably go back here. I missed a step. So here we have a choice to generate cruise grid on which stands. So we can either choose all stands or selected stands. And since I just want to allocate stands to that one stand, I'm going to keep this selected stands. And it says right here, n for number equals 1. All right, so now back to the spacing and number of plots. I'm going to leave this at the top as the top choice for now. Enter number of plots per polygon. And now I know this is a fairly big stand, so I'm going to say I want 40 points in my polygon. And for this example here, I'm going to leave it at the 1-to-1 square ratio. We'll get into more of these here in a bit, but that is what I'm going to choose for now. And then we have grid orientation. So you can either use a stand attribute to dictate what that orientation might be, or you can enter a constant value. So for me, I'm going to choose 20, just for an example here. And then we have a buffer. So if you want to use a buffer from the boundary, maybe I want half a chain. And then the grid point starting number, I'm going to say starting at number 1. And I'm going to create a new feature class. Or you can always add it to an existing one, but I want to create a new feature class. And then here now we can choose where we want to save it. So I'm going to click on this here and we can see where this is being saved. Navigate to a different location if you need to. And then here is what it can be named. So I am going to just say maybe this is plots_1. All right, and then after you review all of the attributes here, and whenever you are feeling like these are set as you want them to be set, we can choose OK. Now we can see that my plots have popped up, and I also got this this output file here that popped up on my other screen. So here we can see that it created 41 plots instead of 40. And we can get some other general information like number of stands selected and the name of my plot layer. So right here we have that underscore of 1, plots_1, that's what we named it. And there are our plots. So we could clear that selection. If we wanted to update symbology, you could simply double click on this point here and it will bring up symbology. You can also go here to properties and you can change the size and then choose apply. That's my outline width, so maybe that's way too much. Maybe I just want 0.5 and maybe I want my purple to be bigger. Let's try that. There we go. We can also change the color, so maybe instead we want yellow. To pan on the map, you can hit this explore button. All right, and there's our plots. Okay, so let's remove this. So I'm going to right click and choose remove. All right, and now let's continue on by going through the menus here. So let's choose a different type of plot layout. So I'm going to choose Easy Plot Tools again. Plot Layout Tool. And this time I'm going to choose all stands in the sample stands. And I'm just going to choose chain for spacing. And now I want to do something different this time, and I want to choose read number of plots from stand attribute field. So before I do that, if you want to see what that might look like, I'm going to choose cancel here, and I'm going to go over to my sample stands. I'm going to right click and choose attribute table. So here I have my stand IDs. I have my type of my forest type, my acres, and then I have this number of plots field here, this num plots. This is how many plots I would like in each of these stands. Let me shrink this down here a little bit. There we go. I also have an X spacing and a Y spacing option. That'll come into play here in a little bit. If you need to add any fields, you can always go here to add. You can add a num plots field here if you need to. I'm not going to at this time, so I'm just going to close and I'm going to discard savings. You're going to want to save though if you make any updates to your stands, but for now I'm going to close out. And now I'm going to go back to my plot layout tool, select all, and then read number of plots from stand attribute. And then I have to choose the field which that plot count is contained. So that's num plots for me. And then here we can choose something different for a ratio. I'm going to choose rectangle. This time I'm not going to put it on an orientation, and I am not going to choose a buffer. And then here I'm going to add that name and then make sure this is where I want to save it. Perfect. I'm going to click OK. And here it tells me how many plots it created per stand, and my number of stands was 4. So perfect. All right, now this stand doesn't have any plots because if we go here to the stands and open the attribute table, we can see that it's non-forest. And I told it not to allocate any plots to that. So we can just close that. We'll go back here. We'll choose clear. All right, kind of cool, huh? Okay, so let's remove that and let's go through another example. So let's go back to Easy Plot Tools, Plot Layout, and this time we will manually enter XY spacing. And I'll do it for all the stands again. Let's say I want to choose feet this time. So for my X spacing, maybe I want 100 feet. Oh, so here we can have a choice of just entering that spacing on what pattern. So you can do a square, a rectangle, a different version of rectangle, or you could do user defined. So maybe I want 300. Maybe I want 100 by 300. Up to you on what you want that to look like. All right, and then if you want a grid orientation, we can do that. Maybe we just want like, 10 degrees for slightly off center. All right, I'm just going to name it plots this time and click OK. And here is our pop-up information. Take a look at that as needed. I'm going to close this window. And now we can see these are a little bit at an angle. And then if we go here to map and we choose measure, and we choose US feet, we should be able to see that those, yep, are about 100 feet by 300 feet apart. Of course, I'm not perfectly precise with this little measure tool, but that looks pretty close. So there we go. All right. So I'm going to remove that one, and let's go and look at another example. So in this one, we can read, we're going to choose the read XY spacing from an attribute field. And here it lets you choose your attributes. So I'm going to choose my X spacing and my Y spacing. And I am going to say yes, that is in chains. I'm just going to leave those as is. Make a little note there for myself and choose OK. Okay, now I got a warning here that says X and Y inputs do not both contain a number. Please input a number. All right, so I'm going to choose OK. Oh, maybe that's for this one. I think that was for that one because this one looks like it worked. So let's open up our table here, our attribute table. Let's shrink this down so we can see what we're looking at here. Zoom out a teeny bit. Okay, so for the first one, we can see I have a 1 by 2 for my X and Y. And then for this next one, I have a 1 by 1, and that looks correct. And then I have a 2 by 1 here, and that looks like it's going the other way, so that is working correctly. And this one here has null because, again, it's non-forest, and I did not want plots allocated to it. Okay, we hope you found that helpful on how to use the Easy Plot tools. And also, don't forget to save your project. So up here at the top, we have that Save Project button. Stay tuned for more videos, and thank you for watching.